RBT family, what is the deal? It's your dog Willie Jack, and we are back. Back, baby. Back with more NFL action. How's everybody doing? How you feeling? It is a victory Wednesday for you, dog. So you know I'm feeling good about that. Well, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Let me slow down. I can't lie. The taste of victory isn't as sweet as it should be. It's still good. Don't get me wrong. It's still good now, but it's not quite as sweet as I'm accustomed to. I tell you what, man, my Steelers are making it painful on me, man. They making it rough on me. But we did get it done, so it is still Victory Wednesday for your dog, man. So, hey, I can't, I'm going to stop complaining. I ain't complain no more about it. We got the dub, did what we had to do. How y'all doing? How did your team do? How did your Sunday go? Huh? Or if you're a Ravens or a Lions fan, how did your Monday go? Talk to me. I'm here for you. Yeah, Sirski. Matter of fact, I see a couple of y'all already in here. Let me see what we got going on. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man. Ready to go. Locked in. My dog, man. Cat Mothership, man. Hey, he said, don't forget, tap in with Three Amigos. That's like, that's share, and that's subscribe. You heard what he said. Like, share, and subscribe. If you really game, you call your friend and them, and you tell them to tap in too. You heard what he said. Come on, man. It's the Three Amigos, and they got a big cousin. Like, share, subscribe. Big cousin, tell a friend. Go grab somebody and come right back. We got time. Come on with it, man. Shout out to my dog. Hey. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is why I need you. Man, I'd have been an hour and a half into the show before I realized that I'd never put these comments up. Shout out to my dog. Hey, hey, you know what, cuz? Hey, and you show right. It looked like it. But don't be confused now. Don't be confused. Y'all know it's big nation business, man. Y'all know it's big nation business for sure. But I ain't gonna lie, this definitely is some Vikings purple on me today, boy. I'll tell you that for sure. For sure. Now I see, your Chiefs, you know what I'm saying? Y'all beat up on poor Russ in the Giants. Probably didn't cost Russell Wilson his job. Hope you're happy. Hope you're proud of yourself. You know what I mean? Gotta probably cost Russ his starting future in the NFL. But y'all had to win it. It wasn't gonna be no excuse. It wasn't gonna be nothing at all that could have been said had y'all found a way to lose that game to the Giants. I ain't gonna hold you. It would have been no way in the world. For sure. Hold on. Hey, man, matter of fact, now hold on now. Hey, hold on. I see it's more than a few of y'all in the views. I even see we got the likes up. All right. But where are the comments? Y'all better tap in, man. Drop something in the chat. Say what's up to your dog now. Drop something in the chat. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and then drop something in the chat and holler at me. But while everybody else is getting comfortable, my dog Keandre, man, I didn't get a chance to run that boxing show, bro. We were supposed to chop it up about that Canelo Crawford fight, man. I didn't get a chance to. I ended up having something pop up. Matter of fact, I wasn't able to have a Wednesday show. Last Wednesday, man, some family stuff going on, so I didn't get to do a show. But while we got a little time, while everybody else is getting comfortable, go ahead and talk to me, man. I know we talked about it a little bit, but I don't know if we got to do it justice, man. Do you have any final thoughts that you want to share about that Crawford and Canelo fight, man? Hey, shout out to my dogs, Miles in the building. It's golf! Shout out to my dog Miles in the building. For sure. But now, Keandre, bro, I'm going to tell you, man. And Miles, you're in here too. You know what I'm saying? I told him we might talk a little while everybody in here getting comfortable. You know what I mean? Finding ways to sneak a little boxing talk in. And, man, matter of fact, shout out to my dog Tom, man. I was talking to my dog Tom the other day, I think on Monday. We was talking a little bit about that Canelo Crawford. And then we talked about, bro, I know y'all been seeing it, the hypothetical matchup between Floyd Mayweather and Bud Crawford. Y'all got some thoughts on that? Because I got some thoughts on that. Me and my dog Tom, man, we got into it a little bit. I was on my way to my niece's birthday party, matter of fact, Tom, I owe you a call back. I got to call you back so we can finish that, bro. That was a good talk. But now, bro, that Canelo, the Bud Crawford versus Floyd Mayweather hypothetical matchup, man. What do you think about it? Have you thought about it? If you haven't thought about it and you're on the spot right now, give me your thoughts, because I got some thoughts for y'all. Matter of fact, I'll get the party started. Here's my thoughts. I think it definitely depends on like which era of which fighter, which weight class are they fighting. I think Pretty Boy era Floyd, 130, 135, 140. Yeah, 130, 135, 140. I'll give those matchups to Floyd. I like Floyd at those lighter classes more so than I do Bud in those matchups. Now, 147, that's also a little older Bud, but smart. Bud also like Mayweather. He's aged like wine. That's another thing I didn't even think of. But like they both aged like very well as far as conditioning and ability, skills. Like they didn't see like a visible decline. And honestly, it may be argued. This is on the spot. It may be argued, bruh. Is Bud aging even better than Floyd did? Because don't forget, like Floyd's conditioning and his skill set and his quickness and everything were still top notch, but his body was breaking down. Like his hands. Like Terrence is still maintained that his speed, his quickness, he's just as smart. You know what I mean? He's super intelligent, but his body's holding up way better. He doesn't have those injury issues or those hand issues that plagued Floyd like it did for like the last 10 years of his career, where he really had to change his style of fighting. And then also probably had a lot more to do with, the selectiveness of his scheduling of opponents. That we can get into all that. But no, man, if I think about it, I think older Bud, like 47 Bud and Mayweather had a fight at 52 against that Canelo fight was at a catchweight of 52, but I don't think Floyd ever truly fought at the junior. I don't think he ever fought at the junior middleweight limit. I don't think he ever fought officially at 154. So I'll just say 47. Now 47 to 47, I'm not gonna lie. I like Bud in the matchup at 47 because also keep in mind this is mid-30s Floyd versus mid-30s Bud, and I like Bud with the definitive edge and power for sure, no question. But Bud, he's just as smart. Or if we want to give the edge to Floyd, say Floyd has the higher IQ, but it's still like it's not an overwhelmingly like powerful edge in the matchup. I think Floyd, for the majority of fighters he'll fight, like the IQ, like his IQ versus the guy he's fighting is not even in the same planet. You know what I mean? Terrence hasn't got that problem. Terrence is a supremely high boxing intellect. So boxing IQ, that's a wash for me. Floyd did have like long arms for his size, and that's one of the gifts he had is that he does have a great reach on him, but he's 5'6". I think he's 5'6" with the reach of a guy that's like 5'10", I want to say. Meanwhile, Bud is 5'8", 5'9", but I believe he's got the reach of, he's got like a 6-foot reach. So the reach goes to Bud. Pure hand speed, I'll go Floyd there. But I like Bud's, like I think counterpunching in this one would be, because that's a what Bud is an all-time counterpuncher. Floyd is a great counterpuncher as well. So that could be a wash. And like, I don't know, man. I think I like Bud. I think Bud, this is what I was telling Tom. I said at 147, both in their mid-30s, right? Because we can't just pick Pretty Boy Floyd and drop him at 47. That's not the guy he was. So 147 Floyd, around age 35 versus 147 Bud around age 36, 37? Shit, hey man. Bud's more than a live dog, man. Bud's definitely a live dog. I like that. I like that matchup for Bud, man. Or if I was gonna give him any one of the matchups between the 4 weight classes that they shared, that's the one I think I can see Bud. I think Bud can have a chance to win that one. Now the only thing about it is like, Floyd is still super intelligent. He can. I don't know, man. That would be a hell of a matchup. Another thing hold on, let me check my comments, man. Oh man, I know. Hold on, man. I get to just talking. Hold on, man. Who else got in the building? Hold on, man. Let me catch up on these comments. I got the rambling. Hold on. My dog Keandre, man. Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate you asking, bro. Yeah, man. It was yeah, man. It's all good. It'll work itself on out for sure. And then, say that then, Keandre. Say that then, boy. He said, hey, second, he said, Bud might be the most talented fighter he's ever seen. You know what, bruh? I appreciate what you said right there. And the thing about it, honestly, like, I don't think, now, the only thing I would say, nah, man, I think for me, my all-time favorite fighter, dog, like growing up, my childhood, I fell in love with boxing because of Roy Jones Jr., honestly. And I think all-time, pound for pound, prime for prime, Roy at his best, he's a top 5 fighter, pound for pound of all time. That, in my opinion. I can't say that, but honestly though, because when you say that, I dig what you said, because like what doesn't Bud have, bro? Like what doesn't he have? He's got a supreme boxing IQ. He's an all-time counterpuncher. He's an all-time counterpuncher. He's got, man, the switch hitting, right? The both sides. And then especially in this Canelo fight as well, like we've seen him take chances to get guys out of there, and he can go get you and get you out of there, like Mean Machine, like Sean Porter. So we've seen that where it can, at times people may say that maybe he's defensively irresponsible, but I don't necessarily think that. I think it's he's playing to the level, or he knows what he has to do to win, and he's fully cognizant and willing to take risks to come out on top. Because in the fight against Earl, in the fight against Canelo, and in these mainstream large-scale matchups, he's been flawless. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't mad at that, Keandre. I ain't mad at that, bro. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that at all. But hold on, Keandre, bro, you my age, dog. I know you remember Roy Jones, bro. You gonna tell me Roy Jones? Hey, man, I can't say, but I can't. Yeah, nah, I think, and especially because talent also lends to just like natural ability. Because Roy had a lot of talents that weren't necessarily like teachable skills, or he broke a lot of rules. So we going to, I don't know, man, but hey, I'm not mad at that though, bro. I'm not mad. Now, also, a lot of people are talking like, where does Bud fall now? And my phone just hollering, y'all in here, a couple of more of y'all here. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. A hypothetical Bud versus Floyd matchup. And then also though, but like which weight class? Because 47, where they both mid-30s, I like Bud for that one. I think I do. I like Bud for that one. Now 40, 35, 30, now I'll take Pretty Boy. I will. Because Terrence also wasn't, he's always been a sharp fighter. He's always been crisp. He's got damn good hand speed. He's always been a great counterpuncher. His power carried up for him up to 168. He stumbled and wobbled Canelo. But I think that young Pretty Boy, yeah, man, I think I'll get an edge to that I'll get the edge to Pretty Boy in that 30, 35, and 40 matchup. But at 47, I think I'm taking Bud. I ain't gonna lie to you. Ooh, boy, Keandre, boy, you feeling spicy today, boy. What you say? He said if Floyd fought the Canelo, hold on. Oh, he said the Floyd that fought Canelo, he thinks loses to Pretty Boy Floyd. I'm gonna think about that too. Keandre. I'm gonna come back to that one. Hold on, I see my dog Chop just dropped something. I'm gonna come back to that. I'm gonna think about that. I ain't thought about that. I'm gonna have to think about that real quick. Let me think about that, bro. Because older Floyd, he can handle a lot of volume and a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying? Because like I think about, and I was talking to my dog Tom about it, like that Marcos Maidana fight, the first one, where a lot of people thought Maidana might have won that fight. Some people felt like Floyd got a little home cooking, being the A side and being the big star. There's more than a handful of people that thought Maidana won that fight. which is one of the reasons that Floyd had to run that back and run it back as quickly as he did. And that's a shout out to Floyd as well, because everybody don't do that. Now he ran away. He didn't run it back with De La Hoya. We'll talk about that later. But he did run it back with McDonough, because McDonough definitely clocked his ass and was able to rough him up. But I mean, no, Pretty Boy had volume. He was way more offensive, but he still wasn't like, he wasn't gonna. I don't know, man. I'm gonna come back to that, Keandre. I'm gonna come back to that. Keandre said Money May gets outpointed. You talking about old and young Floyd? Oh, no. Are you talking about that? Let me know. Is that Money May versus Bud, or are you talking Money May getting outpointed by a Pretty Boy? Hey, Miles, you ain't lied, bruh. You ain't lied, boy. I'm telling you. You ain't never lied. Cause yeah, hey, I think he is, dog. I'm telling you. Like I think so as well, bro. Like, yeah, Floyd's hands started breaking. Floyd's hands was crumbles. You know what I mean? Like them hoes was brittle. He couldn't hardly, boy, you squeeze it. If you shook his hand too strong, you'll break it. Like he had, bad trouble like that. Hey, he definitely got that. And bro, that's the thing, bro. He got that country strip for sure. But he's a real lifter, bro. Like they got him in street clothes, walking to the gym, deadlifting 405. You know what I'm saying? In some stiff ass Levi's and Forces. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even in the Earl fight, I noticed it then. Shout out to my dog Tom. Boy, that's a rough day for my dog. It's a rough memory. But with seeing Bud like give him a little chicken wing and seeing Earl fly like 7 feet, and then even in the Canelo fight, going up 3 classes, 2.5 classes, whatever you want to call it, because he stopped at 54. Going up 3 classes, essentially. They tussled. And he definitely bodied and spun Canelo and changed position and put Canelo back up against the ropes. And I'm like, boy, hey, man, that country strip is the truth. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, Chop, man. Hey, you right on time, my boy. Hey, now, I will. Hey, let me give my dog Chop a shout out, man. My dog Chop deserves some credit, man. Chop was calling it from the get-go, bro. Before the fight was official, when we talked about that possibility of that fight, Chop, my dog Chop, from the gate said, boy, that boy Canelo gonna get spanked. He was calling it out the gate, bro. Now, he was going a little far for me. He was saying Canelo overrated and some of that. I was like, man, I can't get on board with that. But he was calling it, boy. He said Bud gonna spank his ass. He said Bud might stop him. And I was thinking, ain't no way he's gonna stop him. But, hey, if y'all remember the fight, boy, hey, Canelo hit that stanky leg on him, boy. Hey, where it looked like 1 or 2 more clean ones, man. He might have went ahead and took that. I don't know. He did get that stanky leg, though. But nah, shout out to my dog Chop. He definitely was on Canelo ass this whole time, boy. And I ain't gonna lie, boy. He was on that. My dog Carrie said Roy was special, but Bud is different. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like Roy broke the rules, bro. And also, we got to keep in mind, like, Roy got some real names on his record, too. Like, and what's funny is that, like Roy and Floyd had like a little back and forth in social media, like maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, and I think it's died down now. But Roy did call into question Floyd's record, like that 50-0. We get too caught up in the 50-0 and not necessarily looking at the 50. You know what I mean? Like Floyd fought a lot of names, but I've always felt this way about Floyd as well. It does matter how and when and the context around him fighting him. Like, I think that's valid. Because we got to remember, Roy Jones Jr. Oh, Tom, I see Tom is slid in here. Oh, we're going to get to it. But here's the thing, though, with Roy, bro. Roy Jones Jr. won the middleweight title from James Toney. Now, everybody don't know about James Toney. If you don't know about James Toney and you call yourself a boxing fan, you need to do your homework. James Toney is an all-time great. James Toney was undefeated for like 6 or 7 years and was like the middleweight champ for like 4 or 5 years. I mean, he was dominant. Roy walked him, bruh. Knocked him down, scored a knockdown on Toney. That was the first knockdown of his career. I don't know if he's been knocked down since, before he retired. Like, bruh, that's an incredible win. Bernard Hopkins. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, dog, hey, man. Roy, hey, man. Yeah, man. Hey, y'all go, don't get, I spent an hour just talking about Roy. Y'all better be careful, man. Hey, D-Dot in the building, man. Hey, Big Nation Business in the building. Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, happy belated birthday to my dog, D-Dot, man. Yeah, man. Big Nation Business in the building. Hey, Big Cuz, man, what's going on, family? What's up, man? Yes, sir. Hey, Chop, there we go, bro. That's what I was saying, bro. Like, I think skill for skill, but I think Bud is perhaps one of the most skilled fighters we've seen. But, man, we talking just raw, just talent? Yeah, I don't think anybody fooling with Roy, dog. I don't know, dog. Because he had the speed of, like, name them. You know what I'm saying? Like hand speed, like name them, bro. Like I'm to all-time hand speed from 154 to 175. You know what I'm saying? To light to heavyweight. He won a title at heavyweight. Y'all can say what y'all want to about John Ruiz. He was the heavyweight champ. John Ruiz won that belt from Evander Holyfield. Now it's an older Evander Holyfield. It don't change the circumstance. Guy went from 154 to the heavyweight. It had never been done. It'll never be done again. You know what I mean? But like hand speed, all-time hand speed, Roy's hand speed is comparable with prime Sugar Ray Leonard. Roy's hand speed is comparable with Money May. Roy's hand speed is comparable with anybody across any weight class that's ever laced up a pair of professional boxing gloves. And then his power. One shot, man, come on, man. He's got all-time pound-for-pound power. He was extremely, like you said, like extremely elusive. Like his defense was non-traditional, like a Sweet Pea, where like Sweet Pea is an all-time defensive great, but it was a lot of unorthodox, just raw talent, just like you can't, you know what I'm saying? Like Roy had that style of just, man, come on, man. That's how I feel too, Chop. I ain't gonna lie. My dog Chop said Floyd wins. Floyd always has a knack for taking the power away from fighters and outclassing guys. Defense too crazy. But see, this is the thing. Bud has that same superpower. Like whatever it is that you do best, like Bud takes that, like you gotta beat him left-handed. Like you gotta beat Bud left-handed the same. I mean, not left-handed as far as orthodox stance. I'm saying like you gotta beat Bud doing what you don't like to do. Like I think Bud has that same type of ability. I do. My dog Tom in here, man, holding it down for them terrible Texans, letting y'all know they still going to the bowl for sure. Charles said, Pretty Boy Floyd's defense wasn't as good. Still was fighting off raw ability. He got smarter as he got older and became better. Ooh, wait a minute. I mean, think about that. Hold on now. But no, wait. Bro, I don't know if Floyd ever had bad defense, dog. I don't know if I can go that far because I can't get on board with that, man. I don't think Floyd ever had bad defense, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. Hell no. Man, hell no, bro. Diego Corrales, Arturo Gatti. Castillo rocked up that Castillo fight was another close one, but like, nah, bro, he still put on some defensive master classes even in the Money May days. Like that Diego Corrales fight for sure. I think that's when he won the title at 140. Is that 140? Or was Chico the champ at 35? But like, nah, that was a masterclass. Now, Arturo Gatti was just a bruiser. Arturo Gatti was the Pitbull Cruz of his day type of thing. You know what I'm saying? But like, bro, he couldn't sniff Floyd, bro. Like, Floyd still had that. I don't know, man. I can't go that far. His offense was by far superior for sure. But I still think that defense was still cold, boy. Like, he was still pitching some shutouts against some guys back then, too, boy. No, maybe not. Well, because I was going to say, because Zab Judah clocked him as well. Like, Zab Judah got a real good shot on him. Shane Mosley, and older Shane Mosley, De La Hoya. I mean, so, like, he's been, like, guys will find a way, a rogue shot to get through and land pretty solid. But, no, I can't go as far as to say, the defense is still there, though. I think it did get better as he got older, but that's a function of like he could, like, well, he's getting older. He's slowing down. The problem with his hands, and then yeah, he did get like I think he did get smarter, of course, just naturally. And so I think the defense improved, but I ain't gonna go as far as to say he didn't have it though when he was money. He said people think Floyd couldn't touch people up. No, Money May was putting paws on boys. Now he was, and the thing about it as well is like Money Mayweather, similar to like a Bud Crawford, like he couldn't get a lot of fights. I mean, he couldn't get a lot of fights, especially in those Money May days, especially in those lighter classes. Like he couldn't really. It was hard for him to get a lot of fights, man. Guys didn't really want no trouble with him because he was looked at the same that they looked at as like Bud. Like he's too high risk for too low a reward. You know what I mean? Because he also came up under Bob Arum and Top Rank. Man, there's a lot of similarities, man, between Bud and Floyd's story, man. They both came up under Bob Arum and Top Rank. Both of them had complaints about how they were being mismanaged and just couldn't become a star until they left, right? And and finally got a couple matchups, some names, and etc. But there's a lot of similarities there. But now Floyd was definitely, like I said, that Arturo Gatti, Chico Corrales, those are probably the most one-sided or like, yeah, just one-sided ass whoopings he probably gave out, or at least in my, just on the spot, I'm thinking about those two for sure definitely stand out for me. He said Money versus Bud. Bud presses the gas and outpunts Money. Ooh! I'm not gonna lie, I can get on board with that. So that'd be at 47. Money May versus Bud, that's at 47. At 47, like I was telling my dog Tom the other day, at 47, I can get on board. Money May, I get an edge like 40, 35, and 30. I give all three of those to Pretty Boy. I give all three of those to Pretty Boy. I do. No, you know what? Yeah, I'll give all three of those to Pretty Boy. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. But 47, I like 47, I like Bud. Hey, Tom said that recency bias is real. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. You know how it goes. But it is still good conversation, though. It is still good conversation. The Bud performance is pretty fresh in everybody's mind. So that is fair. That is fair. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a legitimate conversation, though. I definitely think it's a legitimate conversation. For sure. So Floyd beat more champions than anyone ever. And you can't take that from him. And see, that's true. And that's one of the things that Roy Jones said, and that a couple people said is like, the timing of some of these fights. I mean, we can't look past that as well. We do have to give it, because also like that Oscar De La Hoya fight was a very good fight. That was a damn good fight and a very close fight. That was an old ass De La Hoya though, man. We forget. That was an old ass De La Hoya. De La Hoya was 2 fights from retiring. You know what I mean? And that was a nip and tuck fight. And there was a rematch clause in that fight. That's when the first time Floyd Mayweather retired was so that he didn't have to give Oscar De La Hoya that rematch. I mean, we forget a lot of these details as time passes on. But yeah, he didn't want that rematch with De La Hoya. He retired to get away from it because the rematch was good for a year, so he had to retire. And then even the Sugar Shane Mosley fight, he ended up dominating that fight once he took over. But early in that fight now, Sugar Shane was live. But we also forget that was an old-ass Sugar Shane. That was an old-ass Sugar Shane as well, man. Like, the Pacquiao fight, I mean, that was, they were both older, but, he aged. Like, it was a superpower for him the way he's aged. Like LeBron. Everybody can't age like LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, I still like him in those matchups, but I don't know, man. You ain't gonna tell me if they fight that fight. Man, bro, they were talking about that fight. Keandre, bro. They were first talking about Floyd versus Manny Pacquiao, bro. We was in high school. I remember them talking about that fight. I had to be in like 10th, 11th grade. Bro, they was talking about that fight for 10 years before it happened, dog. Now, I ain't gonna lie. I do think, and one of the things for me, why, like, when I look at the legacy of like a Manny Pacquiao, I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be surprised if Manny had some type of assistance, man, because you just don't go from 106 pounds as a grown man. We're not talking about Golden Gloves. We still put Manny Pacquiao was a grown professional in his early 20s. He was fighting at like 112. Maybe not 106, but he was fighting at like 112. So he was a full man that weighed 112 pounds. And then, if we remember, especially Manny in his heyday, when he was knocking out welterweights up from 112, and he was like a mini chiseled Bruce Lee, like shredded up, man, he had put on 30 pounds of pure muscle. So I don't know, man. He might have had a little juice in this. I mean, the juice might have been a little loose. Hey, he said, hey, don't do James Toney like that, man. Hey, don't do him like that, man. You got to go do your history on James Toney, dog. James Toney is an all-time great, especially defensive fighter. He's got that Philly shell, which is the kind of the Philly shell, which is like the Mayweather shoulder roll is like an evolution of the Philly shell. You know what I'm saying? And guys like James Toney, especially in modern day, like really popularized that defensive style and brought that to the forefront for sure. Oh, okay, there we go, child. Okay, yeah, I was about to say, cause I was like, man, you on your own with that one, dog. I must have misread it. I was like, dog, you on your own with that. Now I can't say it. He was still pitching some shutouts now. As money may as well. And so, that's a good question, Tom. And so here's the thing, like, I mean, you've got to rough them up, you've got to press them. And so the guys that have had like those flashing moments of success, or that have made the wins that he's got against guys like that have been like questionable, or maybe some may go as far as say controversial. Castillo back in the day, and this was money made. A lot of people think that he lost the first fight to Juan Castillo as well as money. This is at 35. Probably the best Floyd, the best Floyd. If I'm picking the very best version of Floyd, I'm probably going to go that Floyd that was at 35. That would probably be like my all-time Floyd. All-time Floyd is at 35, I think. I think that's the best of both his worlds. But Juan Castillo, a guy that can be a little rugged, man, rough him up, and isn't afraid to let his hands go, has enough pop as well to really make him respect you. Just like I said with Sugar Shane Mosley and De La Hoya, they did as well. Marcos McDonald, like we talked about him as well. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, a young like Manny wasn't the same guy when they fought, but if they had fought 5 years earlier, then I would imagine Manny would have did a lot better. And then we forget that Pacquiao fight. I think now the scores are always, it is what it is, but I believe that fight was scored pretty close for Floyd, unanimous, I believe. Now I gotta look. Somebody had to let me know. But no. So their guys have made Floyd uncomfortable. Zab Judah, like I said, the first 4 rounds of that Zab Judah fight, and Zab clocked his ass pretty good in that one as well. You know what I'm saying? Before Floyd was able to adjust. So like, there's been instances where guys you can get to Floyd, but can you maintain that? Can you maintain that? And then also with I think the better plan. I think the better question is, Tom, is not necessarily getting Floyd off his game plan, but once Floyd adjusts, can you adjust as well? Because that's what people can't do. Like, you can get to Floyd, but then Floyd can make an adjustment, but everybody else just got one shot. Everybody else can adjust. Bud can adjust. Bud can also adjust. So, like, if Bud is able to, like, rough him up, he's going to have a clear strength advantage for sure. We know that. Bud's just raw strength carried the 68 against Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Carried up to 47 against Earl. So he's going to have the strength advantage. You know what I mean? And he is an infighter. We seen him use his shoulder roll against Canelo. You know what I mean? So, like, I think Bud can use his raw physical strength, and he's got power to really keep Floyd on edge or make him have to respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro. And like I said, like, yeah, no, Bud can adjust, bro. Bud can adjust to Floyd's adjustment. That's what also makes him great. That's why this is a good hypothetical matchup, bro. He said Pretty Boy had more fighting meanings to him. He definitely did. I don't know if Floyd's ever been like mean. Nah, because when you say mean, when you tell me a mean fighter, I'm thinking Bud, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard. Don't be fooled, boy. The boy name was Sugar. But don't shit yourself, boy. Do your homework on man. Look, Sugar Ray Leonard was mean as a snake, boy. Like, I don't necessarily consider Floyd a mean fighter. I think he's always been a tactician. Like, he's cerebral. You know what I mean? But I don't know if I call him mean. But he said Floyd was too slick for that. No, he wasn't. I just told you he got clocked by old De La Hoya, old Sugar Shane Mosley, Zab Judah, Marcos Maidana, Juan Luis Castillo. There have been others. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, no. So nah. He ain't too slick to be caught. He ain't none of us too slick. Ain't nobody too slick to be caught. He's been caught. He's been caught more than a fair share of time as well. But the difference being, like you were saying before with the adjustments, like Floyd adjusts and the guys in the ring across from him, they don't have that mental acuity, bro. That's y'all word for the day. Mental acuity. They don't have the mental acuity to be able to adjust to Floyd's adjustment. Because if you get Floyd uncomfortable, then okay, it's like, okay, yeah, he's downloading. And we said that we've said that or back when he was fighting, that was always the thing. You know, Floyd's going to download those first 3-4 rounds, and then he's going to make you fight him left-handed. Or he's going to take, you know what I mean? But Bud is a guy, he can adjust to the adjustment. You know what I mean? Like, hey, bro, you got to think about this time. This is a much better matchup than I think you're giving it credit for, dog. I don't think you're giving Bud enough credit. You ain't got to say the Bud win. But you can't talk like it's not a conversation, bro. We can't go that far, man. Day one game, Jarrell in the building, man. What's up, man? What's going on? He says it's a documentary saying the rematch. I mean, well, the first one, I think the first one was 80-20 anyway. And so this is the thing, though. So, like, the De La Hoya fight was the fight that made Mayweather. Like, that was his breakthrough fight to superstardom. Much like the Earl Spence fight was like the breakthrough fight for Bud to like superstardom. That's what the De La Hoya fight did for Floyd. Floyd took that fight was 80-40, or it was 80-20. It was 80-20, the original contract. And so, yeah, with the rematch, they're going to run it back. But now also keep in mind as well, like, be that as it may, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, now the document, I mean, whether or not that's the reason for the rematch, because we've seen those type of rematch clauses still be fought. Like, Devin Haney had the same, I think it was either 80-20 or 70-30 when he spanked Kambosos, and then they had the contractual rematch. He had to go back to Australia. He had to fight and whoop his ass again for the same 70-30. So that's not unheard of. Like, that's the contract. And then also, if I mean, I don't know if they was some type of talk or attempt or even consideration to attempt to renegotiate that, because it still was going to be a big money fight for both of them anyway. You know what I mean? But nah, I ain't going to let him off the hook. That boy, hey, he retired, man. He retired in the face of that rematch. Now, I mean, Duck does feel a little strong, but I don't know what else to call it when a man retires until the day after the contract expires. I don't know what else we would call that. What else do we call it? If we play one-on-one and I beat you and we agree to come back tomorrow, and then you just quit playing basketball so that we don't have to play again. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, Duck normally constitutes like fear, or he's afraid or something like that. I don't want to go as far as to say he was scared or afraid of De La Hoya, but I also ain't going to let him slide for retiring to get out of rematching that man when they sign the contract to do so. You know, I don't know. Now, that's what, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I think the same, dog. I definitely think Pac-Man was the juice was loose, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I hate doing that because as far as I know, he's never popped. You know what I'm saying? Like, Canelo's got some dirty tests. It's guys that's got dirty tests. I mean, it's a lot of guys. Some of our favorites, you know what I mean? They've popped, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I felt the same about Pac-Man for sure. I ain't gonna lie. I think he definitely had a little assistance. Hey, he definitely did. He definitely did. But he also went up to heavyweight as well, and you know what I'm saying, was throwing them heavy hands, boy. He also, hey, them hands are still heavy now. Lights Out was the truth. Hey, Lights Out, that was a good ass name, boy, because he had them some heavy ass hands, boy, and will turn your shit out for sure. No, I don't, not necessarily. Like, don't like all his toughest fights. The fights that the closest or toughest fights that he's had have been when he gets roughed up. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the fights that give him the most trouble. So I don't necessarily want to say that plays into his hands. Now he's been able to like adjust and like skillfully get on his bike and pick you apart. You know what I mean? Pick you apart by staying out of range. But like I don't think you take into consideration enough that like Bud's not just another guy that can't figure out what to do once Floyd starts playing the back foot and looking to pick you apart with that stiff stabbing jab to the body, letting you you know what I'm saying, letting you get in the corner and roll a little bit and landing those little pitter patter. Like, no, man, like I don't think that stuff's good enough to just dominate Bud and just leave Bud like clueless on how to regain. Like, nah, I don't think he stumps Bud. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he stumps Bud. He gonna have to fight. He gonna have to. That's gonna be a real live fight. I think that's gonna be a real live fight. Jolly Juice in the building, man, said the juice is loose. Hey, what's going on? Said KC, they back in the building. Yeah, y'all needed that. Yeah, y'all had that was a month. It was gonna be no excuse, no justification, no salvaging of the season had y'all found a way to lose to the Russell Wilson Jets. So y'all definitely, yeah, that was definitely. I don't think it was in doubt, but yeah, y'all had to win that. It wasn't gonna be nothing about that. No, well, see, said the fight like close out the championship rounds, and here's the thing though, like not even like all those, bro. Hold on, he didn't whoop De La Hoya. We gotta rewatch the fight. Tom, we gotta have to rewatch that fight, bro. Matter of fact, Tom, next time I pull up on you, I'm gonna have a bottle of bourbon and I'm gonna tell you turn your YouTube on and we just gonna watch classic fights. He didn't whoop De La Hoya ass in that fight. De La Hoya was live in that fight, bro. De La Hoya has some good, and we got to keep in mind, this is old De La Hoya. That's not Fernando Vargas De La Hoya. That's not even Tito Trinidad De La Hoya, and he gave that one away. You know what I mean? That's not, man. Nah, bro. That's an old De La Hoya, and that fight was a lot closer than you giving it credit for. He didn't whoop De La Hoya ass. Hell no. Hell no. He didn't whoop De La Hoya ass, bro. You gonna have to rewatch that one. You gonna have to rewatch that one, dog. Hey, day one game Jarrell, talk about it. Talk about it. And wait, is that the fight where I was trying to think? Is that the fight that Floyd's glove touched the ground, or he might have went to a knee but bounced up quickly or something? But no, yeah, Sugar Shane definitely almost put him down. Sugar Shane almost put him down for sure. That's a fact. That's a fact, Tom. It's a fact. He we know he closed them out. He's 50-0. I mean, so we know he closed them out. But I ain't gonna say they was easy. I ain't gonna say that. But to say they was easy is too far. Nah, that's too far. That's too far, bro. Hell nah. That the first Marcus McDonough fight, that wasn't no easy fight. That De La Hoya fight wasn't no easy fight, bro. That Juan Castillo fight when he was money made, that wasn't no easy fight. Now these weren't easy. Now Sugar Shane was also old as hell. He was way past it, and he gassed out. Like he went balls to the wall for them first 4 rounds. Clocked Floyd, damn near put him down, and then he gassed out. And so Floyd took over and ran away with the backhand of that fight. But that's why I'm saying that's why we got to talk about the context of some of these though. My dog tried to say, what about this week? He's at Baltimore and that's this Sunday? That's this Sunday? Hey, shout out to you know what, Chop? Look, hey, shout out to my dog Chop, man, getting us back on schedule. We acting like this ain't football Wednesday. This is Wednesday recap. This is the week 3 recap. Shout out to my dog Chop, so we got distracted. See, I was waiting on y'all to get comfortable. Everybody get in the chat. So me and my dog Keandre just start chopping up a little boxing talk, letting everybody get comfortable. And then before you know it, 50 minutes later, we ain't talking no football, man. Shout out to my dog Chop. We gonna get, and also, I think you're right, Chop. This is a must win for Baltimore. Is 1-2. Baltimore is 1-2, and tied for the bottom of the AFC North with the Browns. So they gotta have it. And then Kansas City, they 2 games behind the Chargers in their division with a head-to-head loss to the Chargers as well. So they can't drop too many either. They can't drop too many either for sure. Yeah, man. Hey, y'all got some good ones in there. I see Keandre. Okay, I see you. I mean, that ain't bad, but that's kind of what he's talking about as well. Like, and then also, let's not forget, like, he gassed though. Like, Shane was like 38. Like, everybody don't age like Bud and like Bud and Floyd, where you could be 38 and still be essentially prime. You know what I mean? Okay, that is the one in where this glove cut. That's what I was thinking. I was trying to remember which one it was. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Shane couldn't adjust. But then also Shane was my age. You know what I'm saying? Like he was my age when they fought as well. But yeah, he couldn't adjust. Hey, oh yeah, we getting to it. We're gonna get to it now. But hey man, hey, I'm glad we got the Chop. Hey, Tom said I'm watching Floyd De La Hoya now. Hey, you better turn that. You better turn it off. You better turn it off. You locked in right now. You better watch that after. You can watch that in an hour. But no, I mean, well, maybe not that. Shane was old. Shane was, how old was he? Shane was our age, bro. He was our age. Shit. He was our age. I want to say Shane had to be, but he was older, man. I thought Shane was maybe not 38, but I thought he was like, man, close 37. He wasn't too far off of it. He was older for sure. He was older for sure. I had to wet my whistle. Hey, shout out to the RBT Fam, man. I enjoyed that little boxing talk, man. You know, sometimes I gotta get that boxing out my system. Man, look at, he was 38. I know I ain't crazy, man. Come on, man. Y'all know boxing my second son, man. Y'all know boxing my second son. Sometimes I just go back and just watch old good fights anyway, just because they were good. Man, I'll tell y'all what y'all need to do. Hey, Tom, I'm going to give you another good fight. To watch, bro. Go back and watch that Jermaine Taylor-Bernard Hopkins fight. That's a good-ass fight. Especially in the last 6 rounds with B-Hop. Yeah, turned up, man. That's another good one. I probably watched like a month ago. Rewatched it again. But getting into what we came here to do. And you know what? We can start it off with the Monday night recap. Detroit goes to Baltimore and puts all hands and feet on that Baltimore Ravens defense, on that Baltimore Ravens team. Now, this game, man, I don't even know where I want to start with this one. Now, you know what? I'll tell you where I want to start, because this was the story of the game. This essentially was the game. When I looked at the box score and, you know, just look at the stats and recapping this, Baltimore was outrushed in this game at home in Baltimore on Monday night. Baltimore lost the rushing battle 224-85. 85 as a team for the Ravens on Monday night at home. Inexcusable. There's no way a team that has L Boogie, MVP Lamar Jackson, and Derrick Henry, you can't combine in 4 quarters of football at the crib on Monday night. Y'all can't combine as a team for 85. That's 85 as a team. Derrick Henry had 50. Yeah, Derrick Henry had 50. Lamar had 35. The team had 85. That's inexcusable. And then you compound that by letting Detroit run amok. My son, you see my dog Miles said, I'm going to put you on the board, Miles. Hold on. Superior run game. And the thing about it as well is that they had to get it the old school way. Jared Goff ain't fooling. Like there's no threat of Goff booting out or keeping one of these and going 60 like you got to deal with Lamar. So it's easy. It's even easier sledding for the Ravens to find running success because of the dynamicism of Lamar Jackson. The Lions ain't got that. They got to get in the eye and turn around and give that thing to David Montgomery 7 yards off the line. They got to have 5 grown men up front moving furniture. That's how they got to do it, and that's how they did it. David Montgomery had 12 carries for $150 and 2 yards against the Baltimore Ravens on Monday night in Baltimore, on a night where the Ravens as a team rushed for 85 yards. Derrick Henry, I had to do the math real quick in my head. When I do like that, I'm doing quick math. Don't worry about it. Derrick Henry had 50 yards. Lamar Jackson had 35. Oh, that is all the yards. That's all 85 yards. And David Montgomery damn near doubled him up. David Montgomery had 150 by himself. 2 tubs. And he got him down, man, he got him the long way, boy. He got him right down the pipe. Come on, man. Jahmyr Gibbs was the hammer in this one. Jahmyr Gibbs had 22 carries for 67 yards. He also had 2 tubs. Come on, man. Amon-Ra St. Brown blocking his ass off. J-Mo blocking his ass up. Man, hey, look, man, shout out to the Lions. Because that was just full-fledged dominance. And then that Lions defense, 7 sacks. 7 sacks. They forced a fumble against Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter where the Lions, they take the lead. I think it's 28-24. It's midway through the fourth quarter. It's like that 7-8 minute mark. Baltimore's got the ball down 4. Derrick Henry, stripped from behind by Aiden Hutchinson. It's good to see him back as well. Started off so hot last year, they missed all year after starting the game on fire, or starting the last season on fire. So glad he's back. But man, back and making an impact. Forces that fumble. The Lions recover in the short field. They get another touchdown, and they essentially put this game out of reach from there. I mean, the game wasn't over, but the game was essentially out of reach from there. Once they got at maintain the ball and then punched that one in, that was pretty much all she wrote. Now the Ravens do go get another score in this one, and I think the Lions will get another field goal. But it was ball game. It was essentially the ball game. No. He's not having an MVP season right now, but I do call him MVP Lamar because the boy got 3 of them. He got 1, 2 trio. Now he got 2 of them, and I love me some Josh Allen, but I ain't gonna lie. I thought last year Lamar probably should have got that 3rd one. I think Lamar Jackson's season last time, individual season, we can match that up against any season from any quarterback in the history of the game. That one individual season stands up against anybody. And honestly, I'd say it's top 5, and it's not 5. I'd argue it might be top 2, it might be top 3, and it ain't 3. I think it was more impressive than Peyton Manning's 55 touchdown season. I think it was more impressive than Tom Brady's 5,500 passing yard season. I think it was more impressive than any of the 4 or 5 or 6 5,000 passing yard seasons that Drew Brees had. You know what I mean? Like, I think it was, and this is the thing. I think it was every bit as good as supreme prime Aaron Rodgers. Because me and Chop, my dog Chop, we've talked about this. If we just going talent for talent, skill for skill, I don't know who we're going to say is better, talent for talent, skill for skill, than prime A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers. Who's better than that guy? Lamar Jackson's season last year gave us everything that we love about prime A-Rod. He threw over 4,000 yards. He threw over 40 touchdowns. His touchdown to interception ratio was nuts. He threw 41 touchdowns. He threw 3 interceptions. That's A-Rod. A-Rod's got almost an identical MVP season to that. Now, on top of that, it's like he took prime A-Rod's probably best year, and then he added 800 rushing yards and another 8 rushing touchdowns. Man, come on, man. Y'all stop playing. Come on, man. Whenever is there been we'll never see that again. I don't know if we'll ever see it again. Realistically, come on, man, that's nuts. That's crazy. That's why I had to give it to him. But Josh did a lot. Josh did a lot more or he did just as much with less around him. I think he did. You know what I mean? So I don't hate that Josh got it, but I ain't gonna lie, man. I thought L Boogie had that one, man. Even as a Steelers fan, I had to give credit where it's due. I feel sick because now I'm wearing this damn Smurple shirt talking about. All right, yeah, I'm done talking about them. They got their ass beat. Let me get back on regular programming. I say all that to say they got their ass beat Monday night at home in the worst way possible. They had somebody walk in their crib, make a sandwich, and sit down on the TV and change the channel in front of their wife and kids. They was in their house, comfortable, shoes off, shoes on the furniture, F your couch. That's what the Lions did Monday night. Man. But we're gonna keep it moving. Hold on, wait. Let me check my comments. Hold on. Oh, my dog Chop said Lamar was off, held the ball too long. Trick Henry, hey, that's crazy, man. Hey, he Trick Henry now. Hey, man. Hey, he Trick Henry now. Now he tricking them off, man. Trick Henry, y'all foul, man. Hey, he has to be better. The Lions' offense is a powerhouse when they on. I mean, and that's the thing, like the full force of the offense wasn't even like they ain't even had to get into the full bag. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even had to really get into the bag. Like Amon-Ra and J-Mo, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't have to do much. Like no, J-Mo did have that deep. Man, I guess it was gonna be like a deep dig, but he set it down in the soft spot in that it was like a deep cover 2. Yeah. And he sat down as like a 30-yard catch because he only had 3 catches. You know what I'm saying? So like he had that big play. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he had a touchdown, but like they didn't even get into the bag. Like Goff didn't even have to, you know what I'm saying? Goff didn't even have to really wind up the rifle. You know what I mean? They didn't even have to get into that full bag. They just flat out just manhandled the Ravens at their house on Monday night. Thank God they didn't have to throw the ball too. Thank God Goff didn't also put up 400 yards because we didn't see that happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, you sure he did hold the ball a little bit. Yeah, I mean, but also that Lions defense was hunting now. Like they had 7 sacks. Some of those are probably going to be on Lamar, but I think when you are a running quarterback, that kind of goes with the program. So guys that have that ability, they do tend to take more sacks because they're willing to hang on to the ball longer. It's the double-edged sword. So some of those there's always going to be some sacks we could put on Lamar. Even I think about that 4th and goal read option play where it shout out to Jack Campbell where he gets his hands up. Lamar can't even dump it away or just give nobody a chance. Then he ends up fumbling. You know what I'm saying? Fumbling the ball anyway. So, no, that's a good point. Trick Henry's wild, though, man. That's foul, man. Y'all gonna just knock down a whole man that built a hell of a career. And now 3 weeks into the season, he Trick Henry. He done fumbled all 3 weeks, ain't he? He done fumbled all 3 weeks, I think. It's 3 weeks in a row. And they've been critical. So, yeah, you might be on to something. That Henry fumble look like it took his salt, man. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, like fumbling that Buffalo game for sure. Like people been on his ass. Like imagine being in Baltimore in the city. You going to get your smoothie from Smoothie King. They side eyeing you in the Smoothie King. You know what I'm saying? You trying to pick up your Jamba Juice. They side eyeing you in the Jamba Juice. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to get your egg white omelet. Chef is side-eyeing you when they sit down your omelet. They just tossing your plates on the table and walking off. You know what I mean? Like, he's been dealing with it for sure. You know what I mean? He's been memed all up and down social media. So it's definitely on his mind. And then that one, when he got it, he went to the sideline, bruh. Hey, I should have saved the clip. Keandre, did you see when he went to the sideline? He didn't know if he wanted to slam his helmet or just crumple to the ground. He like half slammed his helmet, half spun and just fell down. Boy just looked so defeated. You know he got that nose ring, looked like he wanted to cry. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, that boy was broken inside, man. That boy was broken inside. He said, you said he's going to be worried about him next week. I mean, hey, I don't know. Hey, day one game drill. I fool with Jumbo Juice too now. I ain't gonna lie. I fool with Jumbo Juice. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, yeah, you know what's going on with the Dirty Birds, man. You know how we feel about the Rat Birds around here. You know how we feel about the Rat Birds around here. Let me say, we're going to keep pushing. Let me see. And, we're going to blow through some of these, man. We had about a 45 to 50 minutes of boxing talk, which I love. But we're going to make up some time right here. Carolina spanks the Falcons at the crib. I don't know. I didn't see this coming at all. I definitely didn't see this coming. It's one thing for Carolina to win this game. Division matchup. They are at home. Inexperienced Michael Penix, inexperienced Bryce Young. Woo. So, yeah, it's not necessarily a surprise that the Panthers won. But now them spanking Arizona 30-0, 30 to zip. Yeah, that's a little wild. Let me see if anything stood out in this one. Michael Penix threw a pick six in this one pretty early to get the party started, and then this one, and then they just never recovered. Man, that Panthers defense was out there lights out. This was a hell of a. This was a. I should have. This the upset of the week, I guess we should say. And what's funny about this, I'm talking about Green Bay going on the road to Cleveland. Hey, Chop. Hey, now we're gonna have to talk about it because y'all got some splaining to do as well. Y'all got some splaining to do. Green Bay goes on the road to Cleveland. Cleveland finds a way to steal this game, man. And this is the thing about it, man. And Cleveland, the doo-doo Browns, that defense ain't no joke, man. The defense legit. I think this game, it was 10-0 in the fourth quarter. And then Cleveland, I think, scored all 13 of 8 points in that fourth. They had a couple breaks in this one as well. Or the ball broke their way a couple times here in this game, but I don't mean that I don't mean to say that they didn't earn it. They definitely did. But no, they played damn well, man. Shout out to that defense. Shout out to Quinshon Judkins, rookie from Ohio State. 94 yards and a touchdown in this one. The defense for Cleveland, man, they are scary. That defense in Cleveland, and I say this even as a Steelers fan, I'm going to give the doo-doo Browns their credit. That defense looks scary. Because it's one thing to be a good defense. Because every good defense don't look scary. There's a difference. You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to be a guy who can knock somebody out, and it's another thing to be Mike Tyson. Because when Prime Mike was dropping boys off, it looked different. It looked scary. It looked scary to see Mike put his paws on somebody. This Cleveland defense looks scary. And they was all over Jordan Love ass, man, like flies on you know what. They end up having 5 sacks in the game. Also had a costly interception. Yeah, it's 10-0. It's in the fourth quarter. Jordan Love throws an interception. Cleveland gets a good return, and they score on that drive. I think that's the drive. They score on that drive. I can't remember if it's a field goal or a touchdown, but they definitely score on that drive. I know Quinshon Judkins had a goal line style touchdown, but they end up getting this game 10-10. And then let's skip to the nitty gritty. It's 10-10 with like 35-ish seconds left in this game. Also, a couple plays before what would have been a game-winning field goal for Green Bay, it was like a 40-yard field goal. It's not an ultra-long field goal at all. It's a very makeable field goal. But a couple plays before that, there was a potential fumble by Josh Jacobs that would have been recovered by Cleveland. It got reviewed. It was a long-ass review. It was a long review. They ended up letting the play stand, or they didn't give the fumble to Cleveland. They had to play stand as was called. Yeah, Cleveland had to challenge. Something like that, whatever. And Cleveland ends up not getting the ball. And then I think it was that fourth down on that drive is when Cleveland blocks the field goal, which would have been the game winner with 30-something seconds left. They block it, they recover it, and then Flacco hits a deep pass over the middle to, I want to say David Njoku. I believe it's Njoku. Long story short, Cleveland gets down, gets a big completion. They get themselves in the field goal range, and then they win on a walk-away game-winning field goal as time expired and really steal that one away from Green Bay, who looked like they had it in the bag. And then, like they say, the ball doesn't lie. You know, so maybe that Jacobs fumble was in fact a fumble. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the football guys didn't like that call, and then we get a block field goal, a big play from Flacco, and then Bob's your uncle. Cleveland wins that game going away on a field goal, man. But shout out to that Cleveland Browns defense, man. Like I said, they truly look scary, for sure. Let me see what my comments doing. Hold on. Oh, hey, yeah, I got you. He said, my dog, try to say he definitely thought he was gonna shed a tear, bro. It looked like he was finna cry, dog. it looked like he just like he tried to slam his helmet, and then it looked like he didn't had the strength to slam the helmet good. Then he just kind of like fell down on the bench and just slumped. And boy, them eyes got glossy, dog. I ain't gonna lie, I thought he was gonna cry too for sure. Hey, for real, hey, I thought he was too, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. Let me see. That Browns defense kept them in the game long enough for Joe to get them score. Yeah, hey, yeah. For just it kept them in the game long enough for them to just to make just enough plays, man. They only had to make what four offensive plays in that game, and those are the four that won the game. You know what I mean? So, and well, here's the thing though, bro. I still think the Packers are for real, but the Browns defense is really like that, bro. Denzel Ward playing like the best corner in football right now. Now, you know I love me some Denzel Ward. I've been a big Denzel Ward guy for a lot of these years. My dog Chop will tell y'all that. But Denzel Ward playing like looking like he the best cornerback in football right now. That's what he doing. That's what he doing. But no, I think that defense is just the truth. Because also what Cleveland has, I think this is their first win, but they put the clamps on the Bengals. And that's with Joe Burrow. That's before Joe Burrow's injury, the full slate of all those weapons. And they shut them boys smooth out. They should have won that game. You know what I'm saying? The Browns found a way to brown and lose that one. But that's another game they should have won. That defense kept them in this one. They end up finding a way to win this Packers game. And then also, I think week one was the week one game against the Ravens. Who they played week one? Now I'm blanking, but no, I think that defense is. I think this is less about the Packers not being for real and more about that Browns defense being truly special. At least 3 weeks into the season, for sure. For sure. Let me see what we got. Moving on. Oh man, terrible time. You ain't here, man. What's going on with your Texans, man? The Texans go on the road to Jacksonville. They lose this game 17-10. CJ Stroud throws 2 interceptions in this one, and they find a way to lose, and they lose this game as well. But now, something's going on in Houston, man. Like I know that offensive line is been an issue. Oh, the Bengals was the week one game. Okay, yeah, where they shut down the Bengals and Joe Burrow and Chase and Higgins and Chase Brown the run. I mean, they shut them down. So then who was week two? Because they ain't had no soft touches. And they've shown up. They've been giving boys work all 3 of these games. It was week 2 then. And then last week against the Packers. But now the Texans got to figure something out, man. I saw that they're releasing CJ Chauncey Gardner Jr. or Johnson. And man, I like that signing when he came over from the Eagles. I thought he was going to fit in with that defense. And I'm very surprised to see he got released. Now he hasn't played his best ball. And I think he also has been a little injured, a little beat up. But man, I ain't think he was going to be released. I didn't see that coming. But the Texans got a lot of soul searching to do now because they got a lot of issues going on. And this is a talented roster. I mean, the offensive line is troublesome for sure, but they got blown out by the Ravens. No, they did. The Ravens did blow them out. The Ravens gave that game away against Buffalo, game 1, and then they did come out. And they end up running off on the Browns week 2. You right. And honestly, wait though, did they blow them out out the gate, or did Cleveland hang around in that one a little bit in the early going before they got wore down? But now you're right. Cleveland did come out there with that get back on their mind, and they did run it up. My dog Chop said, that Texas offensive line is terrible. Stroud doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. It is. But then also, and this is what I was telling Tom, I think me and Tom talked about it a little bit as well. Like, CJ's definitely not comfortable, but I also don't like his decision making, bro. He's also holding on to the ball a little long. He's late on some of these throws. And honestly, his accuracy is inconsistent. Like, I don't think he's playing good ball either. So he's compounding that offensive line trouble. He's also just not playing good either, bro. Like, something's going on, man. And I like DeMeco Ryans. I don't know how much longer ownership is going. I mean, like I don't know, man. I don't know, because after that spectacular rookie year, they kind of set the stage for like all these expectations. They win that division rookie year. They go to the playoffs. They win a playoff game. They beat the Browns, the doo-doo Browns, matter of fact, and then they lose in the divisional against the Ravens. But that was year one. Then year two, regression, the offensive line, a lot of injuries. They fired Bobby Slowick. Remember, Bobby Slowick came over with D'Amico from the Niners. After that first year, people were talking about him being a head coach. There was talks about him being a head coach after C.J. Stroud year one. Year two, he gets fired. I don't know where he's at now. Where's Bobby Slowick at? Tom, if Tom's still in here and he knows, like, where's Bobby Slowick? And then now, so you already fired your offensive coordinator. So, okay, there's your scapegoat. And now year two looks to be more of the same. And I don't know who else we're going to put it on, D'Amico Ryans. I don't know who else they're going to put it on. But I like D'Amico. I like him as a player a lot, too. Back when him and Brian Cushing was on that Texas defense. But I don't know, man. I just think we got to watch that Houston situation. I think we got to watch that and see how that unfolds. They got to pick it up. Cincinnati on the road at Minnesota, and they get spanked 48-10. Now, this game, man, shout out to Carson Wentz. I think we talked about on Sunday, man, getting another day in the sun. J.J. McCarthy injured, and then also J.J. McCarthy's play being so porous, especially for a team that won 14 games last year with Sam Darnold. So this is a team that thinks that they have a chance to be competitive right now. And then they're trying to do right by J. McCarthy and trying to get him to grow and mature as the team progresses without taking that step back. But he doesn't look to be up to the task, man, those first 2 weeks. And so Carson Wentz, now he wasn't spectacular in this game. He didn't necessarily have to be, but he didn't get in the way of the victory either. And he didn't hamper their chances, much like, J.J. McCarthy is wont to do, man. That first half against the Bears, and then last week, just a complete stinker, I think, against the Colts. And so J.J. McCarthy, I think, has something to be concerned about now, just because of how dominant this win was. Now, it was against a Browns team with Jake Browning at quarterback, right? So there's always going to be that, and a Browns defense that can't stop a nosebleed. There's always going to be that. But yet and still, you put up down there a 50 ball up on anybody in this professional football league, and that should make JJ a little worrisome. Now, this is what I want to talk about in this one. And you know what? I was going to wait to the end, but we might as well do it now. So I think a couple weeks ago, at the start this year, we the integrated studs and duds. You know what I mean? A weekly stud, a weekly dud, and that sort of thing. For this week, there was so many spectacular performances, and one of them in this game, I had to highlight this guy. So he's going to be this week's King of the Hill. I'm a play around with this as well. I'll still do studs and duds, but if there's a guy that just completely plays a truly spectacular game, I'm calling the King of the Hill. Best individual performance of the week. And I'm giving it to Isaiah Rodgers, man. The cornerback from Minnesota. Let me tell you what type of day he had. My man had 2 defensive touchdowns scored in this game. He had a pick 6 against Jake Browning. I think he ran that pick 6 back a good 40 or 50 yards. Then he also had a fumble recovery. He recovered a fumble that he also ran back to the crib for another 40, 50-ish yards. And then he also forced a fumble on Jamar Chase. My dog had 3 turnovers and 2 touchdowns as a young cornerback in a single game. Fantastic performance, fantastic day. I had to give him the King of the Hill. I had to give him that King of the Hill over David Montgomery, going 12 for 151 and 2 touchdowns. Over, man, I'm trying to think. Jonathan Taylor went crazy this week. He had 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. So there was a lot of big-time performances in this week, but this is we'll see 12 for $150 and 2 touchdowns again from David Montgomery. Or we'll see that again. Maybe not, it doesn't have to be from David Montgomery, but Derrick Henry may give us that next week. Saquon may give us that next week. We'll see that again. We will. We'll see 100 yards and 3 touchdowns again from Jonathan Taylor or from Saquon or Derrick Henry. We'll see that again. This is a very, and my dog Chop, man, he can speak to it. Because corners also just don't necessarily get, outside of the interception, but they don't just generally be in the position to be able to make this type of impact or this style of play. My dog had 2 touchdowns and 3 turnovers and 2 touchdowns. Come on, man. So I had to single him out. He this week's King of the Hill. But no, the Vikings coast and dominate that game, man, on the way to victory. And I want to see how long. I got a feeling, man. I think they got to ride. I think they're gonna slow play that JJ McCarthy injury just because he just doesn't look like he's ready. And he was also a very, very inexperienced quarterback coming out of Michigan. Like he was there for 3 years, but he wasn't. His usage was low. Like that was a very heavy running offense that Jim Harbaugh was running there at Michigan with Blake Corum on their way to that national championship. But, he just didn't have a lot of reps as far as just pure quarterback play. So I would think they slow play that injury and see if Wentz and that team can get hot and build some momentum. And if that's the case, man, I think they got to ride the hot hand because we're forgetting that this was a team that won 14 games. And until Sam Darnold shit the bed down the stretch toward the end of the year, this was a team that had championship aspirations. Hey, Keandre said, shout out to Cam Scatterboo, man, the weekend warrior. Hey, he said he hates the name Studs. Man, what you gotta get? Hey, what you gotta get Studs, man? Hey, what did happen to you, dog? You had a weird experience. You ain't gotta talk about it online. You ain't gotta talk about it online. But Studs and Duds, it rhymed though. You know what I mean? Like, what am I gonna rhyme for the Duds with Weekend Warriors? It don't rhyme. Weekend Warriors and what? What's the other side? It's gotta be a stud and a dud. That's where we going. Shout out to my Steelers, man, the good guys. We go on the road and find a way to steal one from New England. I hate it has to come to this, man. I hate it had to come to it. I hate it has to come to this, man, where matter of fact, I already told Keandre I ain't gonna complain about the dub. It's Victory Wednesday. We got the dub, find a way to get it done. And shout out to the defense, man, for bending and not breaking, finding a way to come through 5 turnovers. You would think it was a dominant defensive performance, and it wasn't. It wasn't, man. I'm not gonna lie, and I can't pretend otherwise, man. We won this game, but I don't feel great about it. Defense forced 5 turnovers. I don't feel great about it either. I ain't gonna lie to you. But talking about the turnovers, 4 forced fumbles and an interception, another interception that we dropped. It could have been 6, but two of those turnovers were red zone points off the board turnovers for the Patriots. One of them a goal line fumble forced by, shout out to Captain Cam, man, killer Cam Hayward. He was telling, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we were faking on trying to give him some money, and he's the guy that probably kept us and saved this game for us. He took 14 points off the board by making plays that I'm going to tell you about right now. Forcing the fumble 2 inches from the goal line on Ramondre Stevenson. I think his second of the day. Then he also tipped the pass in the end zone that ended up getting intercepted by, I think, Brandon Echols. So there's 2 plays by Cam Hayward that directly led to 14 points being taken off the board by the Patriots. And then he also had a sack in this game as well. So Cam Hayward could have been one of those studs as well for his performance. And then, that's it. I ain't got nothing to say about that. We got away with the dub. We got, hey, D-Dot, man, if you ain't here, dog, that was a rough one, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. That was a very rough one for our Steelers, bro, but we did get that one done. Well, let me catch up on this chat real quick. Hey, man, y'all got to get off my dog time, man. Y'all got to get off my dog time. Oh, he said D'Amico Ryan spot is cool. They still won a playoff game last year against the Chargers. Oh, yeah, they did, yeah. No, wait. Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, they did. They did, yeah, you're right, they did. They need to make some big moves this offseason to fix that line. I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, well, they trade away. What's up? What was the left tackle? He got drafted by Miami. Then he went to Houston, and then I think Houston traded him to the Commanders. Not Teron Armstead, not Ronnie Stanley. Why am I thinking of all these guys except they left? Well, they traded away their best offensive lineman last year to the Commanders. Now, he wasn't the best. He's one of the top 3 probably just pure pass protecting left tackles in football. But, I mean, I don't know how you fix it. I mean, they drafted the young guy, Ariante Ursary, Tunsil. Thank you, Chop. Laramie Tunsil. Man, I blanked on his name. Yeah, they traded away Laramie Tunsil. They draft Ariante Ursary, I want to say in the second round out of Minnesota to be the replacement at that left tackle position. Now, I liked Ursary. I think Ursary, he was in my top 5 as far as tackles coming into this season. I liked him coming out of Minnesota. And I think he's got the makings to be a very solid left tackle. but he's not there yet. The rest of that offensive line, they moved some guys around. I mean, they've tried to make some moves and improvements to that line. I want to say they brought in like 3 free agents this year on that offensive line, and I think they drafted 2 guys. Ariante Ursary being one, and he's starting. So they've been working on that offensive line. But the thing about it, though, Chop, is like how much, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I forgot they did win a playoff game last year. I forgot. Because no, wait, are you sure, bro? I mean, yeah, I guess they did because they still won that weak-ass division. So, yeah, they got into the playoffs. And then, yeah, if you tell me they beat the Chargers at home with your boy Jay Herbo, yeah, I don't doubt it. I can't doubt it. Yeah. The fact that it was the Chargers, yeah, I don't doubt it. Now, this is a new Justin Herbert in 2025. It's 3 weeks into 2025. This is a new Justin Herbert. We'll talk about it when we get there. But I don't know, man. That team looks to be regressing year after year. Because even year 2, they won the division. They won a playoff game. Boy, had to cough. I don't know what happened. Maybe you know what time to jinx me for talking about his Texans. Boy, my God. Woo. But what I was going to say, Chop, they've regressed year over year. Shit. They've regressed year over year. So even last year, winning that division again, very weak division, winning a playoff game, Jesus. Winning a playoff game, they look to be worse. And then now 3 years into year three, they're still on that downward trajectory or like a downward trend. My God. They still on a downward trend. And so I still think, and especially depending on how this season goes, if they don't find a way to like climb out of this slump or this regression that they are 2 years in, then like I definitely think the Mikos, I don't think that job is as safe as you saying. I wouldn't say his spot is cool at all. Hell no. Maybe it's not hot. Maybe it's not a hot seat. But because what's their record right now? Are they 1-2 or are they 0-3? Are they 1-2 or 0-3? Because the way they look, and I don't know what these next few games look like, but I don't feel good about them in any matchup going forward, and it doesn't matter who they playing. Like, I don't even know who they playing, but it doesn't matter just because the way they look, I can't trust them against anybody right now. Like, I just don't feel good about them as a team, regardless of who they even playing right now. Hey, Chop. Man, I'm waiting to see. Hey, you know what now, man? I ain't trying to wish bad on D'Amico, but if the Texans do make a move, I would think Flores, man, hey, I like the thought of that. I like the thought of Flores down there in Houston now. They got a lot of pieces on that defense. Let Brian Flores get his hands on Will Anderson, Daniil Hunter, Derek Stingley Jr., Kamari Lassiter. He's turning out to be nice. Let Brian Flores get his hands on them boys, man. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I like it. He said the weekend victim is the Panthers coach. What happened to the Panthers coach? They won 30-0. What happened to him? Hey, cuz, I'ma tell you. I don't know what it was. I had like a little cough. And man, like, I don't know if like air went down the wrong pipe or I don't know what happened, boy. But man, I was fighting for my life up here, boy. I could have suffocated on camera. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. Boy, I was fighting for my life. I'm telling you, boy, it was gonna turn to a snuff film. Y'all almost witnessed my demise, boy. Hey, he said sweat like the Steelers down 6 for 2 minutes. Bro, boy, worse than that, boy, I was crying. Boy, I couldn't breathe. Boy, my eyes started watering. I couldn't breathe, bro. I couldn't breathe, dog. I don't know what was going on. But hey, you know what? We gonna get off my Steelers. Let's talk about my dog Chop's Rams, man. Chop, man. I'm gonna let you explain yourselves, Chop. Go ahead and I'm gonna let you go ahead and take your time to gather your thoughts and drop something in the chat for me. I want you to explain yourselves. How in the hell y'all let this one slip away? How y'all let this one slip away? So here's the thing about this game. Now, this also was the game of the week, and it was a good one. Now, this was probably low-hanging fruit. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, but it was the game of the week for me, and it didn't disappoint. And here's the thing about it. The Rams, I mean, and it's not gonna be a secret, Rams had ample opportunity to really win this game and walk away. But kudos and shout out to the Eagles for rising to the occasion. And so, and you know what this reminds me of? Not the same way, but much like what we used to say about the Chiefs, when the Chiefs were in that championship just zone, where just no moment got too big. No lead was too big. It just never felt that they didn't have a chance in games. The Eagles feel like that. You know what I mean? Like they're in that championship mode. No leads too big. You know what I'm saying? Like if they get rolling, they can score points in bunches. You know what I mean? And they could find a way to come back and win this game in a number of ways. They blocked 2 field goals in this game. One of those picked up by a 350-pound human who ran 20 miles an hour, 60 yards to the end zone. You know what I mean? So shout out to the Eagles and shout out to Jalen Hurts, man. Jalen Hurts, he was the topic of conversation around social media, especially going into this season about, you know, where he ranks as a quarterback. Is he elite? Is he just a system guy? Is he closer to Josh Allen or Brock Purdy? You know what I mean? Is he closer to Lamar Jackson or Jared Goff? You know what I mean? Is he closer to, is he closer to a Patrick Mahomes or whatever? You know what I'm saying? So that was the type of conversation. And it's games like this, that help to, I guess, vindicate him for those that, and I don't think he feels like he needs to prove himself. And that's one thing about Jalen Hurts that I've always appreciated is his self-confidence, and it's a quiet self-confidence, and just his demeanor. Just nothing, he doesn't get too high, he doesn't get too low, and I know that's cliche to say, but he's a living embodiment of that. He's not too high, he's not too low. You know what I mean? Like, and so I really appreciate that about his game. But no, he balled, and especially in the second half of this game where they really had to tee up. 225 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, another 40 yards rushing, and then another push touchdown. And matter of fact, Chop, I'm gonna put your comment on the board, and y'all got to forgive me for 1 second. I gotta clear my throat. Hold on. All right. I'm sorry. I had to take a quick commercial break. Y'all gonna have to bear with me, but I'm telling you, I'm fighting demons over here. Who out there wishing evil on me? Who over there wishing evil on me, man? What's going on? Somebody got it out for your dog, man. Goodness gracious. But no, so Jalen Hurts really did a lot to vindicate himself. And now, hey, Day One Game Jarrell, you in here? And matter of fact, Miles, are you in here? Keandre, was you here last week? What did I tell y'all about AJ Brown, man? It's been 3 weeks in a row. I've been preaching. We got to get AJ Brown the ball. There's no excuse not to get AJ Brown the ball. And I said last week, I feel like I predicted it. I said, what are we going to do when Saquon is getting bottled up, right? When we can't just lean on Shaq. What are we going to do when we need Kobe to drop 35 to win the game? Because we're getting too comfortable with Shaq. We're getting too comfortable feeding Shaq in the post, letting him drop his 30, and we forgetting to feed Kobe. That's the analogy I was making, talking about Saquon and AJ Brown. Saquon and Shaq on that team. We're gonna win this. We want to win this game through Shaq in the post. We want to give Saquon the ball any way we can and let him dominate, let him do what he does, right? But AJ's still Kobe. Kobe got to get his touches. It's inexcusable for AJ Brown, week 1 against the Cowboys. AJ Brown had 1 target in that game, 1 catch, 1 target for 9 yards. It didn't come and that target and catch didn't come until there was 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and that week 1 game was close. Are you shitting me? There's no excuse. Then week 2 they come out, same thing. And then this is what's crazy. This is what pisses me off. In this game, the first half of this game, they can't get much going. Saquon was bottled up all day. Shout out to that Rams defense. Saquon had 18 carries for 46 yards. So he shut down all day. A.J. Brown didn't get his first target until the second half. Like, how do we do this? Like, I can't justify it. I can't explain it. I can't excuse it. It's inexcusable. It's unjustifiable. Why are we waiting so long to get A.J. Brown the ball? So he doesn't get his first target until, midway through the third quarter? And then you know what he does in one half of football when we give him the ball? Let me tell you. 6 for 109 and a touchdown in one half of football. He didn't even get a sniff. He couldn't sniff the ball for 2 quarters in the game. They was down 2 scores at home. You getting dominated, and you down 2 scores at home in the first half. We don't even think to give our guy a chance to get the ball. We come out in the second half. We put the ball in his hands, and would you be surprised? He looks like a top 3 receiver in the league. Can you believe it? When we throw him the ball, he looks like he's unguardable. Goddamn. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that if we throw A.J. Brown the ball, good things happen? Willie Jack thought that. Willie Jack thought it. Miles, you quiet. Because Miles is all, no, man, I don't want to hear about these divas, man. I don't want to hear about nobody complaining about the ball, man. We won the game, man. No, you got to feed your dogs, man. You got to feed your dogs. And so I love this game for A.J. Brown, and especially the fact that all this damage, everything he did was in a quarter and a half of football. So what are we doing, Eagles, for the other 2.5 quarters of this game where we don't even give him a chance to put the ball in his hands? Is inexcusable, and it's criminal. It's criminal. What my dog Chop said, he said we got to turn some of those early field goals into touchdowns. Definitely, for sure. Y'all definitely missed a couple opportunities. And also, Stafford missed a couple throws in this one that he normally hits. He sailed one a deep, like I'm gonna call it like a post corner or a corner route. I don't know if it was Devontae, but he airmailed one, bruh. I'm gonna say it's Devontae. It should have been like a 25, 30-yard completion. He probably threw that ball 6 yards above Devontae's head into the stands. Like Stafford had a couple misses in this one as well, for whatever reason. He wasn't necessarily his sharpest. Did throw the interception as well. Puka had a good day, 11 for 112. Devontae got in the paint, 56 yards. I ain't gonna lie, it was a light little push off on that Devontae Adams touchdown. I don't know what you think about that. It was a light little push off on that touchdown. Now, also, Chop, what I'll say on the second touchdown to Devontae, I think that one could have been PI on Blankenship. I think Blankenship got there a little early, and he got his hand, and he kind of grabbed Devontae like here, you know what I'm saying? But like on the replay, and they slowed it down, it was early and it was PI. Now live, I don't know if I can blame them for not catching that call live, but Blankenship might have got away with one there. But at the same time, I think Devontae got away with a little bit of a push-off on that first touchdown that he had, also against Blankenship. And what was the Eagles' defense doing day one game, Jarrell? Why was Reed Blankenship matched up one-on-one on Devontae Adams down the field so much in this game? Like, what are y'all doing? I didn't like those matchups, but Blankenship held his own on one of them for sure. Hey, bro, for sure, bro. That's why the Eagles, like the way they using them is pissing me off. Cause I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like, no, I still think he's the number 3 receiver in football. I like him over. I've always had him over CD Lamb personally. I like him better than CD Lamb. I'm still taking him all day long over Nico Collins. The only guys that I could definitively say that I would say, okay, yeah, I'll put these guys above A.J. Brown is just Jettas and Jamar Chase. But then also, like I've talked about on the show as well, AJ Brown doesn't get the soft targets that those guys get. So, like, if we talk about the top 5 receivers in football, right? Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. If you want to put Nico Collins in there, even though he's been in and out of the lineup and he still is a little relatively new to the scene, right? But let's say if those are the 5 guys we're talking about, I think AJ Brown has the toughest road for production because AJ Brown is playing pure X. Like, he doesn't get, they don't motion him for jet sweep touches. They don't use him on bubble screens and shadow screens and shallow cross. Like, nah, bro, he's lined up on the line and he's up the field. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't get a lot of these soft targets that a lot of these other guys get to help pad their stats and also get them into the flow of the game. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like when AJ gets the ball, he's got to go 101 from the wing and he's got to find a way to get to the cup. You know what I mean? Like, it's different than us setting 3 back screens and then you know what I'm saying, flash to the paint. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing a lot more heavy lifting than some of these other guys are doing. And man, and so I definitely appreciate his game for sure. Nah, definitely great adjustments. And that's the thing. Why is throwing AJ Brown the ball an adjustment? Like, that's criminal. Like, how is it an adjustment to get the ball into the hands of a premier guy at the position? Like, that's ridiculous, bro. That's ridiculous. He said we did the Saquon we did in the playoffs last year if you take away those 2 long runs. So you got to be careful though, Chop. I've been trying to argue that type of stuff for years with your ass. I've been making that argument for years. But you're right. He had 2 60-yard runs in that playoff game that y'all lost last year. And so I think he had 180 yards, like $180 in that game. But 100 of those yards came on 2 carries. You know what I mean? So I understand that. A lot of people don't get that. I get that because I've made that argument myself. But no, I think this was still a better job than even that time last year. Like, he didn't break one, but I still think he had more success just on the average carry in that last one, even more so than this one. But no, y'all definitely did a good job of keeping him in check for sure. Okay, it was the Adams. Okay, yeah. Yeah, man. And you know what? And maybe we can explain some of that because they are new, right? And so they have to build that rapport or build that familiarity. So maybe we could say that's a little bit of it. Not on that one I'm talking about. That one, it was like 6 yards over Devontae's head. That should have been a 30-yard completion. That one is just terrible. But yeah, no, it definitely was some miss to Adams. I was trying to remember if that was Adams or Atwell on that one I was thinking of. But yeah, I think you're right. Who's in the building, man? Hey, Zach Becker in the building, man. He said this is the worst thing about having a great defense and a great running back. It's boring to watch, especially games they win, which is most of them. No, I don't think so, bro. I'm assuming you still talking about the Eagles, right? Great defense and a great running back. Hell no. Especially when Saquon's not held up, man, it's still exciting. Man, think about some of those games last year where Saquon was going for $150 and 2 touchdowns and the defense was, you know what I'm saying? Like, those games wasn't boring. I ain't gonna say that now. I ain't gonna say that. It can still be entertaining. For sure. My dog Chai said still the best in the NFC. You talking about the Rams? No. I don't think we could say y'all the best, man. But y'all just went head to head with the defending champs and came out on the other side, man. So I don't know if we can say y'all the best. I don't think we can say y'all the best. Let me see if there's anything else about that game I want to talk about. I think we did talk about Jordan Davis. I'm gonna talk about it again because I think I mentioned it kind of fast. Shout out to Jordan Davis. He's another stud this week, man. 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", 335 pounds. You know what I mean? Blocked 2 field goals, picked one. Or no, I don't know if he blocked the first one, but he definitely blocked one, a critical one, and then picked it up and took that to the crib to really seal that game. So shout out to Jordan Davis as well, man. He had a hell of a day. Let's see. The Jets almost come back and steal one from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'll be quick on this one, man. We getting late into the evening. Tampa Bay's in firm control of this game. The Jets come back and score 21 points in the fourth quarter. Let me see. They block a field goal. Will McDonald from the Jets blocks a field goal and runs it back for a touchdown. This actually tied the game up at 26-26 with less than 2 minutes to go. And then Tampa Bay, that had been in firm control of this game for the first three quarters, they end up having to have a late drive and getting a game-winning field goal themselves to come back and win this game. Or yeah, that block field goal and touchdown made it 26-26. Extra point gave them the lead, 27. Oh wait, yeah, 27-26, and then Tampa Bay drives and gets a field goal to come back and win and salvage this win after almost tricking this one off, almost letting the Jets. Also, the Jets being led by Tyrod Taylor. Shout out to Tyrod. But yeah, they almost come back and steal that one on the road. Indy on the road at Tennessee, and they spanked the Texans. Or excuse me, they spanked the Titans. Shout out to Danny Dimes, man. Danny Dimes looking like this year's Sam Darnold, or this year's Baker Mayfield, or this year's Geno Smith, right? We've seen this story a few times here. This year's Joe Flacco from, let's say, 3 years ago now. So over these last, let's say, like 5 years, we've seen these redemption stories for quarterbacks, like these rebirths of quarterbacks happen before our eyes, and it looks like Danny Dimes is the next guy to ride that wave. Now in this one, this was the Jonathan Taylor show. He did all the heavy lifting. Jonathan Taylor goes for 100 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game. But the Colts look like they got something going, man. And I think the Colts in that division, that AFC South, the Texans are, I mean, they're in disarray. The Jaguars are the Jaguars. I can't put any faith in Trevor Lawrence or what they got going on. I don't know, man. I don't like that offense. Like, I just don't like the look of that offense. I don't trust the Jaguars as well. So I think this division is wide open for the Colts to take, and they look to be the class of that division. I'd expect them keep going like they do to win that division. And they're going to make some noise now in the playoff. I think they win that division, get a home playoff game. I mean, the Colts are definitely going to be a live dog, man, if they keep it up once the playoffs get around. Vegas goes on the road to Washington, and they also get spanked. Marcus Mariota starting in place of Jaden Daniels. They get this done convincingly. Mariota has 2 touchdowns in this one in the air, 1 on the ground. Let me see. Geno Smith for the Raiders had 3 touchdowns in this game. It's been a rough start for Ashton Jeanty, and I'm seeing a lot of talk about Ashton Jeanty. Like, people are calling him a bust already. Like, people are ready to turn the page. I think Ryan Clark compared him to Trent Richardson. And I'm like, hey, come on, man. 3 games. Like, it hasn't been great for sure, but I don't know if I'm ready to pull the plug, man, and call it. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a little premature what's going on with Jeanty, but it has been, if you're a Raiders fan for sure, it has been disheartening because you expected him to be a guy that can hit the ground running, right? Literally and figuratively. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't even mean to do that. But you did hope that he would hit the ground running and bring that same dynamicism and explosiveness and just all the magic that we saw last year at Boise State. You were hoping that was going to carry over for a Raiders team that was looking to probably lean on him in that running game to really kind of bolster this offense, and you're just not getting returns there. So I'm not ready to pull the plug. I'm not ready to give him the Trent Richardson treatment already. But, man, that type of talk is happening for Ashton Jeanty, man. And so that's definitely something to pay attention to. Denver on the road at the Chargers in an AFC battle for the top spot to this point in the season. This was a good game. In a game in which, shout out to Justin Herbert, he had to come through and make some clutch plays in this one to come back. They actually had to end up coming back and win this game. And it's those moments that Justin Herbert, for the first 6 years or 5 years of his career, that he's always failed to do. This has always been my biggest critique of Justin Herbert. My dog Chop, he could tell y'all, I've always complained about this from Justin Herbert, that when we actually have to put the ball in his hands to win the game. I'm not talking about the team is playing well, we get up several touchdowns we can ride off, or the other team isn't in contention at the final parts of the game. I'm talking about we're down 4, you've got the ball, we've got 2 minutes and 2 touchdowns. Like, these are the moments that he just hasn't made plays. Like, these games get away. 3 years ago, going on the road to Jacksonville, being up 27-0 at halftime, and then losing that game. losing last year to a struggling Texans team. My dog Chat just reminded us. You know, like Justin Herbert tends to come up small in a lot of those instances in which you need him to step up and be great. We need him to step up and be a Joe Burrow, step up and be a Josh Allen, step up and be a Lamar Jackson, step up and be a Patrick Mahomes, because this is the type of talent that the level of talent that he has, right? And so, like, the part of his game that was missing is being able to step up and hit those free throws when we're down one and you go to the line. You got to knock both those down. Like, those are the moments that he hasn't came through in. In this game, now it's only 3 games in, 3 games to the season, but he's playing with a different confidence, I feel. And watch it, I talked about it last week. He's definitely playing with a different level of confidence, and I think that's a direct reflection and a kudos to Jim Harbaugh. So shout out to him. They do come back and end up winning this game. I want to say it was they get a late field goal to win this one. Herbert does have 300 yards passing, 1 touchdown, throws an interception. Amarian Hampton has a good day, 70 yards on the ground and a rushing touchdown. Also has 60 yards, roughly 60 yards receiving as well. Quentin Johnson, that's something else we got to talk about. And shout out to, matter of fact, Isaiah. I ain't seen your ass in a while, but shout out to Isaiah Holmes, man, my dog. He's a Chargers fan. Quentin Johnston has saved his career. Quentin Johnson was looking like a bona fide bust. Coming out of TCU, they tried to run him out of town last year. I mean, and it didn't look pretty. They drafted a receiver in the 2nd round out of Ole Miss that I actually really liked. And they drafted Ladd McConkey as well. So it looks like they were maybe looking to phase him out. They bring Keenan Allen back into the fold. But Quentin Johnston has performed damn well to this part of the season. He was the leading receiver. He's been probably their best receiver. He's been their best receiver. Ain't no problem about it. He's been their best receiver this year so far, and he had 90 yards in this game as well. Keenan Allen, blast from the pass. He also gets a touchdown in this one also. And so good performance from this Chargers team. And honestly, this division, 3 weeks, it's only 3 weeks in, but it definitely looks like it's the Chargers division to win, or it's their division to lose at this point, because they've been able to give themselves an early advantage with wins over Denver and Kansas City in the division. So we'll see if they can hold on to it. Let me see. Hold on, I'm going to catch up in my chat here in a second as well. Blow through this one also, man. New Orleans on the road at Seattle. They get spanked 44-13. I'm not going to waste no time talking about it. Sam Darnold did throw 2 touchdowns in this one. Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Jackson Smith and Jigba is also having a standout year. Three games into the season. He's really elevated his game as well. He had 96 yards and a touchdown in this one. And so shout out to him. And actually, I do want to shout out rookie Torrey Horton from Colorado State. He had a big game. He had a kickoff return for a touchdown. No, he had a receiving touchdown. And then he also had a punt return for a touchdown. I think that punt return touchdown went like 96 yards, 90 plus yards. So it's a fantastic play. So shout out to the rookie. Then let me catch up on this chat. Let me see what's going on. Boom, 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 boom. Let me see. CZ said Baker's probably his favorite quarterback in the league to watch. He take him over a lot of guys in the league in a must-score situation. Hey, I'm with you. Oh, you new here. Oh, you must be new here. Hey, you don't know me and Big Baker go back like 4 flats on the Cadillac. Why? That's Big Baker Mayfield around here. I'm with you. Big Baker Mayfield. Big Baker is a baller. Big Baker Mayfield, he's a top 10 quarterback in the league for me. He's been, and I'm not on the bandwagon. These are the conversations I've been having with people for the last year. At least last year for sure. I ain't gonna say last 2 because he had to do a little soul search. He had to find himself again, or somebody had to find him again. But no, Baker Mayfield right now today. What? How many quarterbacks we taking over Baker Mayfield right now today? Right? We'll still say the big 4. Right? We got Big Josh, Lamar, Patty, Joe Burrow when he's healthy, right? We'll still say him. But then after that, who we talking? Jaden Daniels is young and he's injured, right? Matt Stafford, he's old and a little beat up, coming off of not his cleanest game, right? Jordan Love just had a rough game against that Browns defense, right? Who else are we talking about, right? Like how many guys are we going to consider before we say Baker Mayfield? So Baker Mayfield is definitely in that conversation right now, the way he's been playing and the way he's been playing extended over I seen a stat. I saw a stat that said something like over the last 20 games, comparing Baker Mayfield's stats across the board, yards, touchdowns, and like wins, right? Because we make wins a quarterback stat. We can argue and say that we don't, but we do. So he's dominating. I mean, dominating against guys at the top of this league. Your Josh Allen, your Patrick Mahomes, your Joe Burrows. And so he's a league leader across all those pretty stats that we like to see and compare over like his last 20 games in the season. So Big Baker Mayfield is he's definitely one of my guys as well, man. I'm a fan. He said you're gonna have to put that Danny Dimes fire out this week. Oh, y'all got the Colts coming up. Hey, we'll see. We'll see. Oh my goodness. Don't get carried away. 2025 NFL MVP Danny Dimes? What? Josh Allen ain't on IR, is he? We gonna forget what Josh Allen did to the Ravens? What? Man, hey, now don't get carried away. Don't get carried away. Hey, Chop, I'm catching up on these comments. My fault. But bruh, that Raiders offensive line, I mean, they got some pieces on that offensive line, bruh. That offensive, I mean, well, no, they got some names, but they ain't playing their best. But I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, could some of the blocking be a little better? I mean, yeah, probably. But if we talk, I don't know. I don't know, cuz. Yeah, he is still breaking some of his tackles. But I'll tell you what it is. Like, he doesn't look like he has any like juice. Like, he don't look like he has any like real like burst or like acceleration. You know what I mean? Like, his legs look a little heavy. I ain't gonna lie, man. He doesn't look like he has much like, yeah, he doesn't have much like juice or burst, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's what it looks like to me. It's no, man. It's actually Genius gets so screwed behind that line. Looks great when he actually has a chance to move. I mean, but maybe I shouldn't have. I don't want to discount the line, but then also, man, it doesn't look like he has that. He doesn't look like he has like. He looks like he looks one gear. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, he doesn't look like he can like see a crease and explode and get. You know what I'm saying? Like, he looks one gear. Every time I see him get the ball, it's just like it feels like he never gets out of second gear. I don't know. Said one screen pass in 3 games, get him in space. I don't know if that's going to be his game in the league because he wasn't a big receiving threat at Boise. Like, he definitely wasn't a receiving threat at Boise at all. And then also, kind of like I was just saying, he doesn't have much like just like get up and go, like much just juice. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Oh, the real Los Angeles team. That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, he said it's hard to hear you when it's 3-0. Hey, I like it. I like it. Yeah, hey, and we'll see how long they carry it on, man. The Seahawks, especially like I said, that NFC West is looking up for. No, I ain't gonna say it's looking up for grabs because the Rams are still gonna be a threat. They did trick this one off against the Eagles, but we also can't forget or discount that they were up comfortably on the defending Super Bowl champs in their house as well before they tricked it off. And this is on the heels of an NFC Championship game as well on the road in the playoffs in a blizzard, being a sunny California team, and they went out there and damn near took that one as well. And so we still can't necessarily discount the Rams, but Sam Darnold and those Seahawks are definitely a live dog in that division for sure. Like, those are going to be important matchups when they come around. All right, man, that's Zach. Oh, man. Man, yeah, hell yeah, man. Hey, what's up, man? Hey, yeah, you had to remind me. Hell yeah. What's up, big dog? What's the word, man? Hey, welcome. Welcome back. Hey, yeah, you sure right. I'm glad you reminded me, Chop. I ain't gonna lie, I've been sitting there. It was something familiar about his name. I was like, damn, Zach Becker. But then, you know who I was thinking of? Because I was thinking about old boy from CMU, but he spelled his name like, yeah, I was like, man, I know it ain't him. Yeah, I'm glad you cleared that up. Cause I sure been trying to put a finger on, like, man, where I know Buddy from, man? I know I recognize something about his name sounded real familiar. Hell yeah. What's up, coworker? What's up, man? What's going on? You said Stafford over Baker. But here's the thing though, Chop. Yeah, but there's I'm not like for me, like those guys, they on the same level right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can choose your flavor, but I think that they're on the same level for sure. Like if there's the first four, my tier one for me has only got four names in it. And the same four names that everybody should have. Allen, Jackson, Burrow, and Mahomes, right? So that's tier one. Tier two, Stafford, Baker, Jaden Daniels. Like those guys, and there's a couple other names as well, like that I would throw in there, but like they on the same level. You know what I mean? So like those guys are I think they're comparable, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I think they're comparable for sure. Bro, hold on, man. Negative 44 yards before contact. How do you wait? He's got how do you have negative how do you have negative yards before wait a minute, hold on, man. I'm trying to think about that. Oh no, my light went out. You see what's going on? Oh, you know it has been about 2 hours. Okay, yeah, it's about 2 hours. It's about 2 hour battery life. So maybe that's on me. Maybe that's on me. We're gonna finish it up. We're gonna finish it out. Matter of fact, what's left? I done got bogged down. Running my mouth real quick. Dallas. Yeah. Dallas on the road against Chicago. And man, they get shut out in the second half. Chicago and young Caleb Williams, he needed this game. Caleb Williams has the best game of his career. He throws for over he throws for roughly 300 yards, 4 touchdowns in this play or in this game as well. Highlight play, man, the flea flicker deep touchdown pass to young Luther Burton III. You know what I'm saying? I see you, Mo, MIZ and all of that. You feel me? 65 yards to the crib on a flea flicker from Caleb Williams. But this was a big win, I think, for the Chicago Browns team, and especially for like the confidence for Ben Johnson in Caleb Williams. I saw as well talks that people were ready to pull the plug on Caleb Williams. Man, we're getting too quick to pull the plug on a lot of these guys, man. Especially guys with the type of talent that we saw a guy like Caleb Williams have. It was crazy to hear that people are talking about like this Ben Johnson go ahead and call it quits on Caleb since he didn't actually draft him to the team or he wasn't the guy he brought in. But be that as it may, Chicago with a very impressive and much needed win at the crib, embarrassing the Cowboys the way they did. Like I said, shutting the Cowboys out in the second half and running off with this one, 31-14. Arizona on the road at San Francisco. San Francisco wins a nail biter. Mac Jones getting the start and getting the win. They win this one 16-15 to stave off the Cardinals. Oh, let me see what Zach said. So I still need to see Caleb do it against a real defense. Great game, but man, the Cowboys are now that's fair. That is fair. You know what I mean? That's fair. But I think for Caleb, like we just needed to see that it is there. You know, we needed to be reminded that the special is still there, or that the ability is still there. Like if the plays are there, that he can make them. Because it was looking like, especially in that Vikings game, they start off hot in that game. They have a pick six, I think, before half, and they start out so hot in that game, and then the second half, Caleb was terrible in the second half of that Vikings game. His accuracy was horrible. I think he also turned the ball over, and so he just stopped showing the ability to even hit the layups or just make the plays that are there. And so you do make a good point that the Cowboys defense is a soft target, but it still was good to see him actually even be able to make the plays that are there to be made, though. But now I think you definitely do, if you're the Browns and Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams, you definitely do have to build on that going forward against stronger and stiffer competition that's sure to come, especially in that division. They got to go back and see the Lions again after already getting spanked. They still got to see Brian Flores and that Vikings defense. So they've got the Packers defense and Michael Parsons. So that division is a brutal one, especially the defense he's going to see. So he'll definitely be tested going forward. Let's see. Kansas City on the road at New York. No real smoke here. Kansas City cruises 22-9. I say cruise because of the score, but this wasn't like a overtly dominant game. I think Russ may have probably played his last game as the starter for the Giants, barring some type of injury. He has 160 yards and 2 interceptions in this one. This is coming off of the heels of what looked to be Russ's career best day last week, throwing for over 450 yards. I think 4 touchdowns in that one as well, but then throwing an absolutely horrendous interception at the end of that game as you're still trying to battle to stay in it. And then you come out in this next game at home against the Chiefs and you lay a stinker, 160 yards and 2 touchdowns. Shout out to my dog Keandre, man, because he shouted out Cam Scatterbo earlier. Cam Scatterboo. He shouted him out earlier. But he's turning into the lead back. He's definitely a fan favorite. And he's turning into the lead back. He had 10 carries for 60 yards and a touchdown in this game. He also had 6 receptions for 60 yards as well. And so 16 touches for a touchdown and 120 yards for Cam Scatterbo that got drafted in the 4th round, I want to say. Was it 4th or 5th round? And so he's definitely, now he's transitioning to the league. Like, we saw this from him at Arizona State for that 1 year in college because he's a very viable receiving threat out of the backfield for Arizona State last year in college. And that's one of the things I talked about with Genty is that we've never seen Genty be a dynamic weapon in the passing game like in college. And so I don't necessarily know that that's going to be a part of his game in the league. But Cam Scatterboo, on the other hand, he is a dynamic weapon now as a receiving threat. And it's showing. And he's still a very aggressive, downhill, in-your-face, punishing style runner. You know what I mean? He's going to deliver blows. You know what I mean? And so he's bringing all that, and he's as advertised for the Giants to this point in the season, the same guy that they were drafting out of Arizona State. So I know they're happy there. Let me see here. Oh, man, don't do him like that. Nah. I ain't gonna lie. He was on the verge. Boy, he had what? The first 2, I want to say the first 2 or 3 games, he was looking like it, boy. I couldn't. Man, he outdueled Joe Burrow in Chicago. We put up 40 points on the Bengals in Cincinnati. Outdueled Joe Burrow, and then I think that was the last hurrah. Lost 5 straight, man. That was rough. So if the Giants had half a competent QB, the Chiefs lose that game. No, that's the truth. That's a good point. They didn't look great again on winners win, but I think KC's in trouble. Their schedule leading to the bye is tough. No, for sure. I mean, my dog Keandre will tell you. I've been what am I trying to say? I've had those same thoughts about Kansas City. Like, the end has been near for Kansas City. It feels like for quite a while, or at least the writing's on the wall that like they are still like they're almost out of gas. That championship gas is running out. Like, they're on fumes from that championship style contention that they were. It seems like a long time ago now, but it's just just last year they were in the Super Bowl. As crazy as it sounds, but they've been on the decline for, let's say, these last 3 seasons, yet and still they found a way to not only be competent and competitive, but to still compete for championships in the face of all that. So it's one of those things where all the signs point to them being on the downward slope or downward trend, but yet and still, by the time December comes around, by the time January comes around, they're still right there firmly in the mix. And not only are they in the mix, when winning time comes around, when the playoffs get here, they perform. And they find a way to get into the game. And you know what I mean? So the Chiefs, man, seeing how the Chiefs season is going to play out, I'm definitely interested to see how and what they do. This has got to be Kelsey's last year. I'm thinking, like I said, man, those legs is dead. Those legs are gone, man. Ooh, Zach says, has anyone ever played himself out of the Hall of Fame? Because it might have been Rusty's last few years. That's a good point, bruh. And it's the thing. I don't know. I don't necessarily think he was in the Hall of Fame, but I think he was on the doorstep. I think he needed one more, I think he needed one more definitive season to firmly insert himself as a Hall of Famer, and he never got it. I think the second to last year in Seattle, where he was in the MVP discussion. And for me, I think he was leading it looked like he was going to win his first MVP. And then that's the year that Lamar Jackson went crazy for the last 6 games of the season and ran away with that MVP. But we forget that midway through the season, Russell Wilson was balling. Russell Wilson was was on an MVP style trajectory before Lamar Jackson just went to another planet and ran away with the MVP those last 6 weeks. But no, I think Russ was there. I think, like I said, he was like one more definitive season or one or two more definitive seasons away from, I think, putting himself in that conversation. But yeah, I think he's definitely lost that momentum. And then honestly, as ugly as it's been, in his tenure in Denver, his tenure in Pittsburgh, and now likely being benched in this tenure in New York, I think he's probably, I think I think he was close, but yeah, I think you're right. I think he probably took himself out of consideration with his play. Charles said, we definitely said it. Russ ain't get the win. He's going to the bench. Oh yeah, they won't get traded. We talked about it. Yeah, this was his last one, man. He had to get this dub, or he had to have a hell of a game and a loss. And it can't be like the one 2 weeks ago where he threw a 450 and 4 touchdowns, but then threw a inexcusable interception. But yeah, and I think you're right, bro. I think the writing's definitely been on the wall, man. And I don't think they can afford to waste any more time delaying the move to Jackson Dart. Oh yeah, okay, there we go. Hey, that's the last one. That's the last game, man. We ran a little late. We got a lot of good boxing talk in. I talked about the King of the Hill, man, Isaiah Rodgers. We talked about studs and duds. My dog Keandre talked about the name, then I didn't even talk about the studs and duds. So this week, I'm gonna try to speed up, man, so I can get us out of here. This week's stud and dud. I'm going two teams in this one, man. I'm going that Browns defense. They have been spectacular. Now my dog Chop did remind me, man, they did get spanked week 2 against Baltimore. But that lone blemish aside, for 2 weeks, they've been absolutely flat out dominant against very competent competition, right? The full strength Bengals before the injuries, right? A rolling Packers team, just like my dog Chop said. That Packers team looked like they may make a claim for the class of the NFC to compete with the Eagles before going out there and getting absolutely just dominated or just handled by that Browns defense, and then that Browns defense making enough plays combined with their special teams to find a way to pull away and win that game. So kudos and shout out to that Browns defense, man. Absolutely fantastic. And then this week's dud, man, I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. And yeah, for this week's game against the Eagles, and maybe more specifically, it's easy for us to put the blame on Derrick Henry because he's got the highlight style screw up. But we're forgetting this is a Ravens team that's allowed what? The Ravens have allowed damn near 40 points to two opponents. 2 out of their 3 opponents have scored more than 35 points. And this is a Baltimore Ravens team this is a team built on defense. The DNA of this team is toughness, defense, and running the ball, similar to my Steelers. And they've given up 35 plus 2 out of the 3 weeks that they played. In the one game, the one team that hasn't scored 35 points on them is the weak-ass Browns. So what's that worth, right? So that's not worth anything. So they have some real searching to do. And so, yeah, Derrick Henry's had a couple costly mistakes that are glaring mistakes that it's easy to point at that. But we also got to remember that this defense gave up 225 yards at the crib. They gave up 40 points to Big Josh and the Buffalo Bills. Big Josh in that Bills team scored 26 points in the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? So that Baltimore Ravens team as a whole, man, is a dub. Man, they got a lot of stuff to figure out, and they got a lot of soul searching to do to figure out and turn this back around because they're way too talented team. They've got arguably the best quarterback in football. They've got arguably the best running back in football. They've got arguably the best safety in football in Kyle Hamilton, right? So they've got stars across offense and defense. I mean, they've got too much talent in this team to be in the predicament that they are, tied for last place with the Browns in their division. And so they've got to figure something out. So that's why they're this week's dud. Now, with that being said, I think that's it. That's all. Woo! We made it. I think that's it. That's all. My dog Day One Game Jarrell, you heard what he said. Tap in with them 3 amigos before you get up out of here, man. That's like, that, share, that, subscribe. Don't forget, they got a big cousin. Big cousin named Bring a Friend. Big cousin named Tell a Friend. Big cousin name is tell your partner them to pull up on your dog, man. Like, share, subscribe. Hi, the big cousin, tell a friend. And then y'all know what we're going to do. before we get out here and close it out, we are going to do that real member roll call. One more time, man. Shout out to Day One Gang Jarrell already on the board. Shout out to my dog Chop, man. I appreciate your homeboy. Hey, he said we overdue, cuz. We definitely overdue, man. I'm glad you pulled up on me, bro. I appreciate you always, man. Appreciate you. Shout out to the favorite coworker in the building, man, making his long-awaited return. Shout out to my dog, Zach Becker, man. I appreciate your homeboy. I'm looking for the rest of y'all. I know y'all in here. Hold on, I gotta go. I'm gonna find you. I ain't gonna quit on you. Shout out to my dog Tom, man. Terrible Time Walker. Holding it down for those Houston Texans as always. Shout out to my dog Miles. For sure, man. It's golf. You know what's going on, man. Shout out to my dog, man. Cap Mothership, man. My dog, Keandre, man, in the building, man. I appreciate your homeboy. Man, I'm looking for the rest of y'all. I'm trying to catch you. You know we running late. Jolly Juice was in the building as well. I appreciate your homeboy. Said the juice is loose. Let's get it. I'm looking for you. Hey, shout out to my dog D-Dot, Big Nation Business in the building, man. You know that. As always, I appreciate you. Big Cousin's in the building this way, man. Hey, what's going on? I appreciate you coming through and hollering at your dog. Man, I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm looking for you. Damn. Y'all know what time it is. Say the same thing every week. Feel free to say it with me at home. Clear my throat. Now, if I forgot to say your name, damn. Hey, for real? Hey, my bad. But charge it to my head. And don't charge it to my heart. You know I'm thinking about you, big dog. Appreciate all the love, support as always, man. I really appreciate y'all, man. Especially we was off topic today. You know what I mean? I had a little icebreaker, talk a little boxing, and then before you know it, man, that took up about the first hour of the show, man. But I hope y'all enjoyed yourself. I definitely enjoyed it, man. Y'all know boxing is my favorite second son, man. So I love boxing as well. But definitely glad we got to get in here and talk some good ball talk for sure, man. You know, that's what we came to do. But other than that, man, y'all know what time it is. You know what? We didn't preview the Thursday game. I will put that score up as we sign off. Seattle getting a dub on the road against Arizona. I'm going 24-21. But other than that, man, tap back in with your dog. Sunday morning, that Sunday Fun Day preview show, man. Sunday at 10 o'clock, we come in here. We have a good time. We get real busy. Same as always, man. Y'all know what's going on. Other than that, have fun, be safe, enjoy the rest of y'all night. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, peace.